Namaste, Shri Matre Namaha. Uh, I've just taken this opportunity to share my point of view here in one of the Gyaan Nahi gossip sessions that we have once in a month. Gyaan Nahi gossip are a set of series of videos that we record, and in that I try to bring forth topics which are of interest to us, and I try to share my point of views on those. So today's topic is actually about a very booming thing in our life, and that is artificial intelligence. So the topic is artificial intelligence versus emotional intelligence. Uh, as all of us have entered into this year of 2023, we have seen dynamic changes in the way that our digitalization is taking forms and shapes. It's absolutely mind blowing because the kind of options that are available to us in terms of digital online browsing, shopping, and many other tasks, especially like the Zoom format, also having conducting meetings across timelines, across distances. All this has brought us uh, in a in a very cocooned kind of a way also, and also expanded us exponentially. Cocooned us in a way that we've now become like slaves to the digital technologies. We are used to doing everything in the digital world, and there is a whole dynamic ecosystem in the digital matrices that we are a part of, no matter how much we deny it. But uh, we are doing online shoppings, we are connecting with friends using social media like Facebook, and WhatsApp is constantly there. So the way that we live our lives is totally changed, and it means that the more we are on our online platforms and on our mobiles, the lesser we are in the real time world, in the moment that we are actually, our lives have just become compartmentalized into like a virtual life. We have an identity there, we have a complete identity there, like it's like a whole life that we live on our virtual platforms. And then there is a life that you have a job, you have a family, you have a role play, and what are you doing in your society, how are you doing your daily work, what do you do for a living. So each of us are now schizophrenic in terms of this, that we have these two realities that we are all the time operating and transmigrating. And this can be really really stressful, and it's not healthy for us because uh, actually we're meant to be simple, and we're meant to relish the occurrences and unfoldings of our life, and by being present first of all in that moment. So we're always like half present into things, we are half in the physical realms and half in the mobile phone. So anyways, that's about it. But this is going to get even more complex and even more uh, intricate, and very aggressively dominating on our lives with the coming of the new technology of AI. So, what is AI? AI is basically systems that are generating content for us, in terms of that content could be audio, that content could be video, or a text content. So, we are feeding some kind of information into a browser or a software that is actually generating content for us in all these formats. So that is AI. And we know of many AI platforms that are getting very popular, Chat GPT and others also. So there are AIs that can actually convert your text, your voice command or a text command into images, and now even into videos. So it's something revolutionary to see your ideas being manifested and crystallized immediately. So there's no gap between your intention and the manifestation. It's that quick. So that's AI. So what choice do we have actually with technology, and how should technology be used? So technology is something that's always existed. AI is also a technology, and technologies can do not have a moral consciousness. Technologies can be used or abused depending on our own intentions on how to work with them. So human beings are no doubt the most intelligent species on the planet, and so everything is dependent on the intention. The same technology can be used for causing destruction, and the same can be used for improvising lives in many ways. But the same technology could also be used to destroy and create evil. So one has to be very conscious when one is using technology, especially with AI. So the choice here in the coming times is not going to be whether we are going to be able to choose AI or not. That won't be an option. We will be subjected to AI at every step in our life. The only will that we will have will be to use it consciously. So that's something we need to remember, and not actually get too blindfolded by what's happening in the world and lose our uh, essence in this entire story. So what are the uses of AI, and how is AI being beneficial in various sectors of our life? So first of all, me being a doctor, I'm seeing very amazing benefits of AI in the medical sector, especially in terms of diagnosing, in terms of keeping medical statistics, records of patients. Everything's got digitalized. Online prescriptions you can take from doctors across the world. You can do many things, send your scans across, get your reports. So all this is a part of the AI digitalization. Patient priorities, patient compartmentalization in hospitals, medical records, all this is very good when it's more orderly, it's more apt, and it's more accessible with the use of AI. So that's in the health sector. Then in constructions and infrastructure managements, AI can help us make very, very accurate designs of, say, dams, buildings, or any other monuments, or offices, malls. It can be a wonderful tool to actually go into the depth of creating designs. Uh, so that's its use in infrastructure. Then, if you come to the manufacturing sector, then in big manufacturing plants, the different steps or algorithms of product generation and their packing, say their packing and their, like compartmentalizations and stuff like that can also be managed more accurately. And human beings and human forces are now being actually substituted by machines that can actually pick, pack, create, manufacture, dispatch. All these steps can be taken care of by robots rather than by human beings. So here is its use in the in this sector. And then we have the online platforms like online shopping websites, and you can purchase anything from anywhere across the world, because there's a whole data logistics and shipping, and everything can be done through online platforms, which is possible by, you can see Amazon is the biggest revolution in the world. You order something and within few hours you have it at your doorstep. So it's like very instant, very accurate, and very sharp. So these are places where AI has and will continue to revolutionize our lives and make it better, faster, more accurate, and more accessible. That's something that we need to understand, and we cannot just deny this fact that we are here in this time zone, in the Earth timeline, where everything is absolutely super fast, and before you even can visualize it properly, it's already manifested, done, and dusted. So that's how fast we're going. But definitely speed and everything does cost us, and that we can see by the rising levels of stress in our youth, in our, all kinds of people are experiencing various kind of mental disorders, depressions, high rate of suicides, accidents, uh, loneliness, isolation. So many stress factors are adding up by the use of this AI. So it's actually kind of something that, like, how can we replace a human contact? That is something which, no matter how advanced it gets, and even though the AI systems are now also getting softwares which enable them to be more compassionate and emote quite like human beings, but it can never be a replacement for the compassionate presence of another human. So we need to understand this, that no matter how much our lives get upgraded by AI, we don't have to lose contact with the real time world, and we have to continue to engage in our human connections and not get lost in the virtual world. So, what are the drawbacks of AI, or what could be the fate of AI in the coming times? No one knows, but it can actually be morbidly very, destroying to us in many ways. For example, AI mostly will not have a consciousness as evolved as the human consciousness. In our human interactions, we have empathy, we have a common sense and a overall view of the situation, and that's how from our innate wisdom we take a decision. So we always look at things from a more globalistic point of view, rather than a robot which is just following a command as per its FAQ series. So you cannot expect AI to have empathy in it. You cannot expect an AI to take responsibility for its actions. You cannot punish AI for taking its actions. It can be really evil and destructive. I read of two episodes that actually I wanted to share with you, and I just gave me goosebumps on how we are going to be living in worlds which are absolutely uh, inhuman in a way or anything. So there, just imagine like a child of 2 years who has a teddy bear robot as a friend and has no real friends like of his own age. And for everything that he wants to talk, eat, go, decide, he keeps talking to his AI teddy bear friend and keeps asking him what to eat, when to see, what to do. So that kind of kills the original innocence and creativity in the growing up process of this child. Not only that, it also creates biases in his mind from a very tender age, rather than being counseled by a loved one like a parent or like a friend of his own age whom he could actually gel and vibrate with. He's actually being brainstormed and brain brushed by a artificial intelligent teddy bear. Can you just imagine that? What is his own growth going to be like? What are the kind of attitudes he's going to develop when he grows up as an adult? These are really important things we need to ponder on, and we need to keep our children in some kind of a barricading from these digitalizations, at least for few hours in the day. I think that would be really good, because we cannot anyway save them from this. But at least some amount of barricading and a conscious usage can be inculcated in children, and always more and more time to be spent with parents and loved ones who can actually guide them with a kind understanding and proper hearing. I read of one incident where we know of the automated cars, and we know that there are very very efficient engines that can actually drive without using of the steering wheel also. So but these softwares, they could kill, because they could cause road traffic accidents, because sometimes they cannot have that discrimination and judgment on how to operate and when to speed and when to brake and things like that. So AI can also completely increase the rate of technological unemployment in the world. It can cause too much unemployment as the machines and robots take over the jobs of day-to-day people who are engaged in various kind of industries. These people are going to go off their jobs, and just think of the amount of stress and mental issues that these people will have to face while they have an economic breakdown, while their jobs are being replaced by robots. We have restaurants in places where people, rather than people serving you food, there is a robot serving you food. Just think of it, how it's just not like something that we are used to as humans, and we shouldn't get used to it either. That's what I feel. So emotional intelligence is something that will keep us always aware of every action that we take, and also hold conscious responsibilities, moral understandings of our actions. So we need to trust that in emotional intelligence. We can't just let it be replaced by an Alexa telling us which song we should hear when, because we have a emotion that's happening within our heart that Alexa is unable to understand, and we cannot trust it to keep guiding us or as to what we need to feel when. So our intuitive capacities as individuals, as humans, as creative people cannot be completely taken over by this kind of software driven modus. And just think of the very beautiful artistic geniuses in our world, people who write poetry, who post blogs, who write content, who draw, who paint, who sketch, who dance. There are so many ways of creative expression in the world. All these creative things cannot be replaced by just like an AI image, and that's about it. It takes years and years of skill set development, and also deep sadhana to be able to create even a small piece of impactful content that's more heart driven, honest, and beautiful. So we need to continue to do small things in creative ways to keep the intelligence on, to keep the EQ on. EQ is emotional qualification or emotional intelligence, whatever you call it. So there are these tips that I wanted to share, which we can apply to our day-to-day life, and thus thereby by this application we can decrease the impact of AI on our coming times. We can't really literally erase it, but we can be more conscious. So number one could be doing very small baseline activities like laying out the dining table or sitting together for a meal as a family, even washing your clothes, stacking your things. Everything should be done very consciously aware in that moment, and not leaning on artificial intelligence commands alone to understand how to do when and how, basically. So second thing we could do is that whatever we like to do as a hobby, in terms of going out into nature, walking, or in terms of painting, sketching, writing, dancing, all these unique creative things that we love to do should be retained and should be given a certain segment of our lives, and it should not be replaced by continuously just watching the phone like moron, basically, and dumping our own awareness and intelligence and creativity to learn and to long for what we need to know. Then it could be also, we could also barricade and have timelines in a day where we can switch off the mobile phones and all kinds of digital inputs, and use that time for silence, for relaxation, for sleep, for uh, meditations, for doing our sadhana, or for doing things that we just love to do. Maybe that thing is just doing nothing, but still those pauses are very important, those gaps are very important, where we keep ourselves away from our mobile phones and not let things just prod our mind and bias it. uh, that's how I feel that uh, our capacity to be a human is the first thing that we cannot forget, and it's actually on that foundation that everything else is just being created. Even AI is created from human beings, but there could be a survival mechanism installed in AIs in the coming times, where if they're threatened by human beings, they'd be even ready to kill us, because uh, they may be prompted by such evil uh, people who are creating these programs. So one has to be very careful, like a smartwatch that you wear day in and day out. can be something that's absolutely disturbing the privacy of your life. It keeps recording how much you drink water, when you sleep, what you exercise, when you walk, everything. It's like a total breach of privacy. So there has to be some timelines where you're not wearing your smartwatch and you're just being yourself and you're out in nature, you're just walking barefoot, lying under the open sky, and that will help you to connect more and more with your own body consciousness, and you'll be more healthier, more fitter, and more in tune with your own emotions and what you feel about what situations. We are feeling beings, and we need to use that compass for everything that we do in our lives. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Keep joining me for more sessions on Gyan Nahi Gossip. Thank you and namaste.